Sepp Kuss is one of the best American riders of his generation and has really forged himself as one of the best climbing domestiques that we've seen in a very long time, and on the cusp of winning his first Grand Tour in his career. But in today's video, we're going to take a look back at the rise of the greatest climbing domestique of his generation and see where it all started. Sepp Kuss was born on September the 13th, 1994 in Durango, Colorado, a town nestled in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Sepp Kuss embarked on his cycling journey by first venturing into mountain biking as a junior. While pursuing his education at the University of Colorado, he showcased his exceptional talent by clinching a victory in 2 races at the Collegiate Mountain Bike Nationals in 2014. During this period, Kuss harbored dreams of taking his cycling career as far as possible after completing his degree, and in 2016, Kuss embarked on the racing season as a member of the amateur Gateway Harley-Davidson track team. His debut victory came on a challenging summit finish at the Redlands Bicycle Classic, an early sign of his climbing prowess, and later at the UCI stage race, the Tour of the Gilead. Kuss's potential really shone through as he secured a commendable 4th place finish ahead of many of the big up-and-coming names on the circuit in the US, and as a result also finished 14th overall in the stage race. As 2016 progressed, Kuss signed with the Rally cycling team, where he continued to hone his climbing ability. At his first race for Rally at the Tour de Beauce, he won stage 2 and mountain stage in front of many big names and finished 6th overall. But his talent as a climber was already registered by a number of big teams, and in his second year with Rally, he managed to race a multitude of races and experienced minor success early on, with the highlight being a 2nd place on stage 2 in the Tour of Utah, and thereby he also overtook the leader's jersey for one day in the time trial, but ultimately by the finish he finished 9th overall. But the success wasn't limited to this, as he even impressed further in the Tour of Alberta, where him and his teammate finished 1-2 on the first stage, and they managed to defend this position in the GC all the way to the finish, and thereby he finished 2nd in a 2.1 UCI stage race. This season garnered the attention of none other than World Tour team Lotto NL Jumbo, and Sepp Kuss was put on initially a 2-year contract, and this transition marked a significant step in the American's career, aligning him with a professional team and setting the stage for a remarkable journey for him to follow. He was certainly a different rider when he was riding for Lotto NL Jumbo, as he managed to dominate the Tour of Utah by winning on stage 2 with a 51-kilometer solo attack, and then again on stage 5 with a devastating attack 8 kilometers from the finish, and he even took the final stage as well, sealing a commanding performance at the race. Further into the season, Sepp Kuss also took on the demanding Vuelta Espana for the first time, and this really gave him the taste of Grand Tour racing. In the following year, he did his first ever Giro d'Italia, and here he really showcased his endurance and versatility and really adapting to the Grand Tour racing. And then came the 2019 Vuelta Espana, and here Kuss achieved a significant milestone as he played a pivotal role in Primož Roglic's overall victory. But on stage 15, with just 7 kilometers to go, he also launched a daring solo attack and managed to make the pivotal move that would ultimately lead to his first Grand Tour stage win, and also he continued to play that crucial role supporting his team leader Primož Roglic. A successful Grand Tour for him and the team alike. In the 2020 season, on the way to the Tour de France, Kuss managed to show great form in the Dauphiné by picking up a stage win himself, and he once again showed his incredible dedication to the team, riding for Primož Roglic, putting him in the perfect position, but ultimately he couldn't do anything to amend the result of the final time trial. And Kuss, impressively himself, managed to finish 15th overall, and this also meant that he was the highest placed American since Andrew Talansky in 2015. Throughout 2020, Kuss continued to play an integral role in Roglic's victories, and at the Vuelta Espana once again, Kuss stepped up and was a vital component in Roglic's 2nd Vuelta Espana victory, and he was very much the last man for Roglic several times, even on the famous Angle Road. 2021, Kuss again showed his talent at the Tour de France, where despite the team somewhat falling apart as riders were crashing left, right and center, including Tony Martin and Primož Roglic, leaving the Jumbo Visma assault on the Tour in jeopardy. But Sepp Kuss Kuss, Wout van Aert and Jonas Vingegaard really rallied together on stage 15. It looked like Jumbo Visma were risking the GC of Jonas Vingegaard as they sent Kuss into the break. Sepp Kuss repaid this faith as he was in a group of 32 riders in the beginning. However, this group quickly filtered down into just Sepp Kuss and Alejandro Valverde, and Sepp Kuss managed to make the decisive move on the Col de Beixelis, and this momentous win meant that Kuss was the first American to clinch a win in the Tour de France since Tyler Farrar's memorable victory in 2011. Kuss continued his year with the 2021 Vuelta a Espana, and this saw Kuss and his teammates once again working in support of Primož Roglic for the quest of a third consecutive Vuelta a Espana. Kuss was pivotal once again, even wearing the Masters jersey for 2 stages. He really showed himself on the grueling Lagos de Covadonga stage in support of Primož Roglic, where Primož Roglic managed to take the win, and behind, Sepp Kuss was able to outsprint the other contenders to make sure it was a 1-2 Jumbo Visma result on the day. Kuss ultimately concluded the race in 8th place, marking a huge milestone in his career, representing the highest place in GC for an American rider since Talansky's remarkable performance 5 years prior, and this was a notable feat as it was also Kuss's first top 10 in a Grand Tour, and once again Roglic emerged as the winner. The following year, in 2022, in the lead up to the Tour, Team Jumbo Visma orchestrated a strategic maneuver, sending their main contenders of Primož Roglic and Jonas Vingegaard to the Criterium Dauphiné. Meanwhile, Sepp Kuss was entrusted with a crucial role at the 2002 Tour de Suisse, aiming to ride for his own chances in the GC. Kuss was strong in the beginning, finishing only 10 seconds off the win on the 4th stage. However, an unforeseeable twist altered the script, and just before the 5th stage, the entire team reluctantly had to withdraw from the race, a somber concession to the relentless challenge posed by COVID. Nevertheless, Sepp Kuss was ready for the 2022 Tour de France, so Jumbo Visma once again try and go for that elusive title, and Sepp Kuss was part of that team to do so. Yet, adversity struck as Roglic and Kruijswijk, they ultimately had to leave on the treacherous stage 15, despite the team already having the yellow jersey with Jonas Vingegaard, and Sepp Kuss had to do the work of many riders once again. This was the role that Kuss had masterfully orchestrated countless times before in support of Roglic. Here, Vingegaard unleashed a determined attack, solidifying his grip on the race. In the ensuing days, Jumbo Visma's dominance unfurled like a tapestry of excellence. Yellow, green and polka dot jersey adorned their triumphant riders in a testament of the collective mastery, and this Sepp Kuss had definitely been a huge part of. The 2023 season saw Sepp Kuss heading to the Giro d'Italia as a vital component for Primož Roglic to do his assault on the race. Roglic started somewhat under the level he was expecting, and in the crucial stage on stage 16, when Geraint Thomas and Almeida were dashing up the road, it looked like Roglic's Giro d'Italia was in the balance. However, the man of the moment, Sepp Kuss, came to pace the Slovenian superstar up the mountain and limited the losses at the finishing line. Roglic went on to win in the time trial, but if it had not been for Sepp Kuss throwing himself in the crucial moment, it would not have been a victory on the day for him. Nevertheless, he continued to the Tour de France, and here he was helping the defending champion Jonas Vingegaard, and in plenty of moments he was the last man for Jonas as he was trying to get rid of Tadej Pogačar, who is the vital challenger. Sepp Kuss did his best, and Jonas Vingegaard managed to clinch the yellow jersey and take it all the way to Paris. It looked like Sepp Kuss was on for yet another top 10. However, towards the end he had a crucial crash, and it looked like him finishing the Tour was in jeopardy. But he managed to finish the race and yet again showed the decisiveness of him in a team, what it could do to the overall Grand Tour. And here we are, we come to the Vuelta a Espana 2023. Of course, we will dissect the victory in the next video if it happens, and Sepp Kuss winning a stage already, grabbing the leader's jersey, and even having his own team betray him to some people was quite something to see on the Angler Rouge stage. But Sepp Kuss has really shown himself as a rider, and if he does win the Vuelta a Espana, this will well and truly lift him up in the history books as once again, and he will be the first American to win a the Grand Tour since Chris Horner. So absolutely remarkable rider, great story, and we'll have to wait and see if it comes to fruition. But anyways, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to comment down below what you think of Sepp Kuss, and of course if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and why not check out the video I did on Primoz Roglic and Jonas Vingegaard as well. But that's basically it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you around.